going on, Jerome? So, of course, the main question with the Vikings this offseason is what's going to happen with Sam Darnold. Do they bring him back? Is he let go? Test free agency? Is he tagged in trade? Right? And there's a lot of things going on, right? And Kevin O'Connell, basically, he just looked at 14 and said, every single day, I'm going to make you a little less gross. And he did. Right, 14 wins, nothing to sneeze at, although the ending, of course, you do have J.J. McCarthy waiting in the wings. Kevin O'Connell, after McCarthy went down with the meniscus injury, did say that we got a franchise quarterback. But the way that Darnold played through the bulk of the season, maybe they changed the calculus a little bit, maybe not. Who really knows? But basically, Kevin O'Connell, I understand Kevin O'Connell is just a nice guy, but it's very clear that he's playing both sides of this whole Sam Darnold thing. Will he be back? Will he not be back? Et cetera. And beyond the whole fake news quote from that stupid Lions beat writer who doubled down on the lie after, well, first off, I think it was an innocent mistake, and then he just doubled down on the misinformation, but whatever. But Kevin O'Connell clearly, as he's making his way through Radio Row and also his comments at the NFL Honors last night, is basically just like, kind of whatever, right? But so Kevin O'Connell talking with Matthew Berry, Fantasy Life, quote, we're still working through that dialogue, making the best decision for what will ultimately be the best team we can build in 2025, and Sam Darnold may or may not be a part of that, but that doesn't take away for 1 second what he meant to me and this organization. Meant, past tense. Oh, we've gotten into grammar to find clues about what's going to happen. Now, best team we can build in 2025, having a $40 million cap hit on a quarterback that you don't know that you can trust in clutch time. I don't know. I'd rather spend that $40 million bucks, go get us some Trey Smith, go get us some Osa Odigizua, go get us some James Daniels, go get us some DJ Reed. Go get it, right? Just go hammer that free agency. Surround the young kid who, I mean, say what you will about McCarthy, like winning time, he gets down, man. Yeah, absolutely does, right? But and then he goes on Pro Football Talk. Big props to our friends over at Vikes fan page putting these pull quotes together. By the way, hey, he was talking to Chris Sims and Florio. Ask Florio who he voted for in Coach of the Year. Judas. Yeah. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell touches on Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy. So first off, before the quote, he talked about how Sam had earned the right to be a free agent. And Kevin O'Connell's definitely used that language before when talking about Kirk Cousins last offseason. Now, Kurt got hurt with that Achilles, but it was very clear that Kevin O'Connell wanted him back throughout the offseason, right? And Kwesi is basically just like, no. Like, he can be back at a certain price point. If he can get more free agency, he can leave. That's exactly what happened. But that whole language, earn the right to be a free agent, is exactly what O'Connell said about Kirk Cousins last offseason. But, talk about Darnold and J.J. McCarthy. Quote, there are some unique aspects of the conversation that's gonna be the biggest thing, the conversation dialogue, not only with Sam and his representatives, but Kwesi, Rob, and our front office. And the fact that there's even a conversation means that there's a little bit of interest on both sides. Like, honestly, if you're Darnold's representation and you wanted to hit free agency, you'd be like, all right, we're not talking, tag us, or we're just getting ready for a free agency. And if you're the Vikings, if you didn't want him back, there would be no conversation to be had. So the fact that both sides are talking means that there could be a little something there, even if it is just a tag and trade, and then Darnold's agent has to discuss with the team that's trading for him, working on a new deal. A lot of moving parts. Sam knows how I feel about him, and he knows what he's capable of doing in Minnesota. Nobody was more excited about bringing JJ in Minnesota than me. Love everything about his makeup, the success he's had everywhere he's ever been. He's healthy now, and he's going to have a great offseason. His journey is well underway. Again, football journey. Yeah. And we're really excited about it. So, again, Kevin O'Connell playing both sides. And also, he said some great things about Daniel Jones, as well as Nick Mullins, and even Brett Rippon-Ass. So, I don't know. And then take it back even further. So this was before the NFL honors, before he won Coach of the Year on the red carpet with Diana Rossini. Quote, Sam will forever be a player I remember this year, and as he continues to progress on his journey, football journey, maybe with us, hopefully in Minnesota, I'll be right there with him every step of the way. That is not something that you say with someone you're about to break up with. I'll be with you every step of the way. That's like some stalker stuff. I don't know, man, but I don't think this was a slip of the tongue. I think this was Kevin O'Connell just speaking from the hat and being truthful. Maybe with us, hopefully in Minnesota. I honestly think that Kevin O'Connell wants Sam Darnold back, right? Just like how he wanted Kirk Cousins back last offseason. And I think that it's a very good separation of church and state. And with Kevin O'Connell's upgraded contract, I think Gessling reported on it. Like he didn't encroach on Kwesi's personnel control. So Kevin O'Connell is the coach. Kwesi controls personnel. He's the general manager. I think that it's good that they disagree sometimes. And I think that Kwesi is smart in that sometimes he saves Kevin O'Connell from himself. Like, if Kevin O'Connell had full personnel control, he probably would have paid Kurt, the Falcons contract last season. And look what that happened. Look what that got the Falcons. And, this offseason, I mean, obviously Kevin O'Connell has a lot of affection for Sam Darnold. I think that he could get the best out of him moving forward. But at what cost? Right, and also the fact that they do have J.J. McCarthy. Obviously, Kevin O'Connell was on board with that, but the draft capital sunk into J.J. McCarthy, and the plan all along was for Sam to be the bridge quarterback. J.J. takes over. Maybe Kevin O'Connell, if he had full personnel, he would give Darnold $50 million a year, or whatever the market would bear, and then Kwesi just like no. So some reasons why Kevin O'Connell could be playing both sides. You don't tip your hand, right? And I feel like saying nothing and saying everything accomplishes the same goal of confusion out there. So teams don't really know exactly what the Vikings are going to do, and that can be beneficial because a franchise window doesn't open until February 18th, doesn't close until March 4th. Free agency doesn't open until the 12th. Legal tampering doesn't open until the 10th. So the Vikings are in no rush. Number two, they might actually bring Sam back. So it can't be like O'Connell can be like, well, no, it was real. It was fun. It wasn't real fun. It's like a one-night stand, hit it and quit it, and then you just bring Darnold back, and they're just like, oh, cool. Welcome back, man. Three, this could be to gin up a tag and trade market because part of the Vikings' leverage is the threat of keeping him, right? Because if teams knew that he was just going to leave and hit free agency, there would be a decreased rush to potentially do a tag and trade deal other than trying to box out other teams bidding for his services, right? But this could increase their leverage potentially artificially. Like if the Vikings had no intention of bringing Darnold back, but O'Connell out here in every interview saying that, oh, maybe, blah, 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 football journey, blah, it could increase their market. Four, maybe Ken O'Connell is just a good guy. You know what I mean? And he's literally taken time in interviews to praise every single one of the 5 quarterbacks that was in the Viking sphere last year. Talking about Sam Darnold and his football journey, J.J. McCarthy, the future franchise, Daniel Jones learned so much. Brett Rippin-Ass is also a quarterback. And then Nick Mullins, the veteran. Great. 5, this is all to get Sam money. This ties into 4. Like maybe the Vikings at the end of the day, they're just going to roll with J.J. McCarthy, but O'Connell, like Sam Darnold seems like a really good dude, right? And Kevin O'Connell's a good dude too, so it's a good dude off. And maybe O'Connell just out here singing the praises, chapter and verse. Maybe that does increase his market. Like obviously, Darnold's going to get paid either way because the film don't lie, except for the last 2 games. But maybe O'Connell, talking up Darnold. Maybe some GMs out there are just like, all right, we got to get this guy no matter what. And maybe that gets Darnold a little bit more money. It's very possible. Number 6, maybe this is all O'Connell just playing 4D underwater chess. And he understands that J.J. McCarthy is an absolute alpha, chip on the shoulder, uber competitive, will do whatever it takes. And maybe he understands that McCarthy is going to watch all these interviews where it's like, oh, Darnold had a good year. Well, maybe he'll be part of the future. We'd love to see him part of the future. Maybe. Hopefully in Minnesota. Hopefully Minnesota. Maybe he understands that J.J. McCarthy is just going to be like, F you. F you, F your face, F your mom, F this league. I'm just going to rip this league a new one. Maybe O'Connell understands that's how to get through to J.J. McCarthy. Just really ramp up those competitive juices. Don't know, man. But either way, I feel like anytime O'Connell's going to have a microphone put in front of him, like he's going to be talking out of both sides of his mouth, and that's his prerogative. And frankly, I don't think he's wrong. I don't think the Vikings. I don't think that there's a truly terrible decision out here, other than, I don't know, giving Darnold like the Dak Prescott deal. Like, if they decide that Darnold should be back on a 1-year deal or a franchise deal, okay, sure. But absent like a 4-year, $240 million deal with $150 million guaranteed, like I don't think there's a bad option. Rolling with J.J. McCarthy, I don't think it's a bad option. I think that's the best option at this point. But who really knows? I can't. I love that Kevin O'Connell is just like, whatever. Like, hey, Sam Darnold has earned the right to be a free agent, but hopefully he's back in Minnesota. But if not, I'll always have love for his season. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Why is Kevin O'Connell playing both sides? You guys know what to do. Skull, production value.